Hello! Welcome back. It is Friday nights, and we are doing book chats with Mostly Books. I'm Jody.
I'm Jen.
Tonight we are talking about Vengeful by V.E. Schwab, which is the second book in the Villains. Are we calling it a series? I know.
It's kind of a series. Like, there could be more.
I hope there's more.
I always hope there's more.
The number 2 makes me feel like maybe there's going to be a third. Only because they're numbering it. It's not a duology?
No, I think she said there's going to be another one
Yay.
eventually, but not in, like, any, like, near enough time frame that we should look forward to it. But just, like,
it could happen.
It could exist. Yeah.
All right, on that note, do you want to give us a synopsis of Vengeful?
Sure. So we start off 5 years?
Yes.
Yeah, 5 years after Vicious ends. Victor is having blackouts, but his blackouts are death outs.
Definitely death outs.
Mitch, and Sydney are still on the run. Victor is looking for someone to fix him. And then we meet a new EO. So Marcella Riggins is the wife of a mob boss, and she dies and comes back with a destructive power, and there is an agency looking to neutralize and contain EOs. So they're also running around, and then, general chaos ensues, as it does.
Yeah. A lot happened in this one.
These are hard to, sum up because there's so much, how they're written. I'm like, well, I need to tell you all this, but that's kind of spoilers.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
I almost thought you said a spoiler, but then I was like, no, that wasn't a spoiler.
I might have two, I'm not sure. I'm like, oh.
Nope, I don't think you did. I think everything you said could have been on a dust jacket.
Yeah, there we go.
So, what did you think of part 2?
I really liked it. V.E. Schwab has never disappointed me.
That's good.
It was really good because, you pick up with characters you really like and and then you meet some new ones who you're kind of like, I don't know if I like you, but you're interesting, so it's fine. And then they get up to their shenanigans.
Shenanigans is a good word.
Shenanigans, hijinks, tomfoolery, all the above.
Yes. I really liked it as well. I thought it was a great follow-up to Vicious. Mm-hmm. In some ways, I think I might actually even like this one more than Vicious because, book 1, you're getting to meet the characters and how they become EOs, where book 2, we've already got the warm feels about them, and I loved the found family with Victor and Sydney and Mitch and Dom, kind of.
And
he's
Dole.
kind of away. And Dole, yeah. I just love that little group. So it was great to just pick up and just get going. I mean, even though it was 5 years, you still really pick up and get going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really liked some of the new characters in this one. As much as you can like these terrible, terrible villainish characters.
We can call them anti-heroes. That's fine.
Yes. We will talk about them later.
They all think they're the hero of their own story.
They definitely all think that. Yeah.
What'd you think for this being written 5 years after Vicious? Style-wise, because you've read others of her books in between.
Okay, so I thought she really still kept the essence that she had in Vicious, but I felt like the writing was a notch above Vicious. This just felt totally honed in. She knew exactly what she wanted to get across in this book. Yeah. Not to say that she didn't in Vicious, but this one just felt really fine-tuned.
Yeah, it felt
to me
more nuanced, or there was a better handle on everyone. Because in the first one, it's very much Victor and Eli, and it still kind of is Victor and Eli, but it just felt more of that goodness spread out.
I agree.
That made no sense. I'm glad you understand.
I agree with that. And I thought that she gave, we met new characters, but it wasn't we dwelled on them. Not that we dwelled again on Victor and Eli in the first book, but a little bit, because there's so much about them. I think she just really got right to it with everybody on this. Yeah. And I thought it was great. It read so fast, I was so immersed into this world. In some ways, it was very reminiscent of the Savage Song world, which I loved. And I don't know if that's because of the mobness that's in both. But yeah.
It could be.
I kind of would be okay with that.
I've seen fan theories. It's well, these could be in the same world. and just like different cities that we do or don't go to. Because the epitaph for this Savage song is one of Victor Vale's, something Victor Vale says. Yeah.
Up there.
It's like, it's right behind me. I know that. Yeah, it says, plenty of humans are monstrous and plenty of monsters know how to play at being human. V.A. Vale.
Ah, Victor. I know she does monsters so well, Schwab.
And villains.
So love the exploration that you always get in every book, and it's always different, but so interesting. Yep, she just does it really well.
They're very good.
Do we want to talk more about writing since we're kind of already on that?
Yeah, because it's written in a way that's like you have to read the time thing at the beginning of every chapter, or else it's not going to make sense. So like we get Marcella. I think her starts like 4 weeks, and then like something happens. We don't see her for a while. She comes back, and we find out she's been out 2 weeks. But then we're also getting things from Victor's like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago, 5 weeks ago. And then Eli, we're getting things like 23 years ago.
Yeah, I was like, Eli's went way back.
Yeah. So we're getting like and it's all like counting down to this present moment. But it's counting down in different speeds depending on which character's head you're in. So it's...
Yep. And on top of that, you didn't really even know what the moment was that you were building towards. You're like, where are we headed?
Like, we're just building towards some sort of showdown.
Well, that was the assumption, yeah. And initially, when I kind of started to read that, I thought, oh, this is going to get confusing. But I didn't really think it was at all.
No. Really, yeah.
You can figure out, even if you don't read, which she very clearly tells you what the date is. If you don't, you can figure it out in context pretty quickly, too, based on what the characters are doing.
Yeah, and it's like each of them kind of has their own timeline, and they're in different settings usually, so it like helps keep it distinct. Because you kind of get to the point where you're like, okay, they're counting down to this, and this happened this many weeks ago or whatever, and it's like it works out.
Yeah. I feel like we covered writing. Do we want to talk characters?
We do want to talk characters.
I know, right? Do we want to say anything about Victor and Eli first?
Oh, I still love Victor.
I do too.
Good.
I mean, I had a moment of sympathy for Eli, but it was a moment. He was a hard life.
Yeah. Like, I feel bad for Eli, but still. Murder.
I know. And like the whole God part, him feeling like he was
There's less of it now.
Yes, he's reflected on that, which I did appreciate, but I still have such issues with that, with him. Love Victor, even though he also murders.
Yeah,
I really can't give him a pass on that, but
it's the whole question is like, if someone asks you like, do you like these characters? You're just like, yes, but
it's complicated.
Yeah.
Sydney, Mitch, Dom,
I like Sydney.
Dole.
I feel bad for Sydney. I thought it was really cute how Victor's like, Sydney still looks the same, but she's such a teenager. I'm like,
I know, right?
I was kind of like fond, but like exasperated at the same time. It was sweet.
I love Sydney, and I love her relationship with Victor and Mitch. I thought the thing that her mission that she was like working on her project was, I knew where she was headed with it pretty quickly, which I'm sure you did too. And then I was like, oh, relieved when she made this final decision.
Yeah, I was like, don't do that. It's not. Oh, yeah. So I'm glad. Like, but I think she needed to do that to like see and like come to that on her own.
I completely agree with that statement.
So.
Yeah, I liked her. Mitch is always great. I think he's just a big old teddy bear.
He's like the most like normal or grounded of anyone in these books.
Absolutely.
And it's just like, well, at least someone has their head on straight.
Yeah, they need that in that crew. Dom, I was happy to see how well he was doing.
Until he wasn't.
Yeah, we'll talk later on that. Let's talk new characters.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Marcella.
I love Marcella.
Me too.
And like, she's unhinged in the best way.
In the most fantastic, fabulous way ever. And oh my gosh, she looks amazing in every outfit she puts on.
That's intentional.
Of course it is. I also want her heels. Like,
I don't.
Really coveted those dang heels.
The one time she's like, I have more sensible, like, boots on. And I'm like, okay, good. You should.
kidding? She does not need to run. She will take care of business.
She doesn't need to run. That's true. I did like her. Yeah, I did like her.
Yeah. Can we talk about her gift?
Oh yeah, should we do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So she like ruins things, or like I think she like expediates like radioactive decay or exponential decay.
Just the decay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
So first, because I thought it was carbon based at first, but she brought things that are pure metal too, so it's not carbon based. And stuff just rots when she touches it.
Yeah, it just crumbles. Glass turns to sand. Buildings crumble down.
People like flake away.
Flake away.
Which is, it reminds me of an anime, but it's fine.
Oh, I could see that. Oh, I thought that we would get. Oh, yeah. Did you get that was going to be her gift based on her last thoughts?
Kind of.
Yeah, that I will ruin you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know what form it was going to take, but I'm like, it's going to be something where she like kills you with her touch or something.
Yeah, I thought mass destruction.
Yeah. Sometimes her like, oh, like no one takes me seriously, men always speak over me kind of got on my nerves, and I'm like, okay.
It did, but it's true.
It's true, but it's like you could have had it so much worse.
Again, yes.
It's a fairly like small thing that I was like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah, I thought I did that. I actually liked that about her. I thought you're right. This is your time. Show them how it really is. Do you want to talk about June?
I like June. I have a lot of questions about June.
I have mixed feelings on June.
I like June, but also I'm like,
Yeah, the way she is with Sydney,
it's too possessive.
It's way too possessive.
Like,
especially for a girl you met fleetingly. I know they text for several years. But it was sort of a weird controlling way of texting her, too.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know.
I want to know what, like, her end game. Is it just family? Or is it something else?
But she also doesn't accept when Sydney's like, they are, like, Mitch and Victor are my family. And she's still like,
yeah.
I'm better family.
I'm better for you,
like,
yeah. Even though I kind of brought about some of this to you.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't like that. We'll see where this goes. I think it'll be more interesting as, like, Sydney like matures and has a bit more of a say in the things that happen to her.
I mean, because she's really only like 17 or 18 right now.
Yeah, she's 8. She had her 18th birthday.
Oh, right. She did turn 18. Yeah. So she's pretty young.
But she looks like 12 and a half.
I know. Dang freezing water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure with June. I feel like she has good intentions, but I'm not sure she knows how to deal, like, actually follow through with good intentions, if that makes weird sense.
I'm not sure she's always going to listen to Sydney.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's something you see with, like, Victor. Victor is not, like, a nice dude. Like, by any stretch.
He definitely has moments of not niceness.
Yeah, but he always seems to, like, acknowledge, like, that Sydney is her own person and can, like, make her own decisions or, like, to help her make those decisions. Like, when he taught her how to shoot the gun and she's, like, pointing it at him, he's like, okay, go ahead. It's like, you get to make that choice. I'm not going to tell you what to do. And there's just, like, he treats her more fairly than June does, even though June is like, I care about you. Right,
because she's also misunderstanding the whole comment of, has he ever hurt you? Well, not deliberately.
Well, yeah, that was the whole thing.
That, like, she really got stuck on that, and I can understand that, because you don't want anyone getting hurt. Of course you'd want to take them away from that terrible toxic relationship, but that wasn't exactly the case in this situation.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with an EO whose power is pain and
is
he
on
keeps
the fritz,
dying randomly,
and that Sydney doesn't know that,
and he's hiding it. Yeah. So I feel like she really honed in on that, and is not listening to Sydney.
Well, it's maybe a clue for June's backstory.
Yeah, there's definitely some sort of assault would be my guess, and I'm pretty sure she handled that. She handled that,
but there might be like abuse in her story too.
Yes,
which could very much make sense.
Absolutely. Did you figure out where her accent's from? Is it Southern? Is it Irish?
I have no idea.
Yeah, they talk about her accent a lot because she can't. So June's talent. I guess we should say what June is. She's like a shapeshifter, and she brushes against people and then can take on their appearance, as well as if she gets hurt, they get hurt, not her.
Yeah.
Do you wonder how many people are dead because of her life?
Really? I'm just like, that's unfortunate.
As an assassin.
Yeah, but she also can't hold her real face.
I don't think that's true. I think she deliberately chooses to not hold her face. And I think there's a reason. I just don't think we know what it is.
Yeah, because, like, at the end, it says something that she's, like, wearing her real face, but before she takes a person's skin that's very similar to her real face. So I'm like, okay, did you put the real one on, or did you put this other one on? And then all the other...
Ooh, so we'll come back to that in spoilers. Because now I didn't catch that. I just thought that she was saying she didn't want to do it. She's hiding. She can never go back to that.
Yeah, but it seems it's like there was something preventing her from even having the choice to go back
Except
to that.
that she can see it in the back of her closet, as she calls it.
Huh.
Because she did talk about that and talking about looking at it there. We need a third book.
We need a third book. We need answers about June.
Really do. Anything you want to talk about before you ruin this for everyone?
Wait, should we talk about Eli or Estelle?
We talked about Eli and Victor.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Eli more?
We could talk about Eli more.
Sure, what would you like to talk about?
That I actually did care about him a little bit.
Yeah, see, I had that moment too. It was fleeting.
That's kind of spoilers though, so we should talk about that after.
You want to talk about Stell?
Yeah. So Stell is the cop who arrested Victor originally and put him in jail, and who was previously working with Eli to, like, round up EOs, as he would. But now he's, like, upgraded to Eon, which is the Extraordinary Observation and Neutralization unit thing. It's like an FBI for hunting EOs, basically. And they, like, put them in cages and study them in various ways. Yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to kill any of them. He thinks some of them can be rehabilitated, maybe.
Well, he thinks, like, we'll just keep them in prison for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, but he keeps talking about how some of them can put their talents to good use, but you never see him actually, like, ever trying to apply it.
Except to Eli.
Well, and there's something else, but I don't want to talk about that yet either.
Okay.
So we'll come back to that one. Don't let us forget. Yeah, I'm not a huge Stell fan. And
yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, you're not really supposed to be.
No. He's trying to do what Eli's trying to do, but he's still trying to go about it with some sort of morality, which I don't know if he's right or not to do that. I don't know.
It's not my decision to make in that one for them. All right. Anything else?
I'm good.
Me too. Okay. Spoilers. Turn this off. Come back later. Please go read this book.
Read the first one first, so you're going to be like, what?
Yes. I know we talked about last week how this could maybe be a companion to Vicious, which it is, but I really think you should read Vicious first.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. Don't read these out of order.
I mean, you could read this one out of order. You're going to be like...
Don't do it.
I think you could.
Don't do it. Anyway, go read the books. Come back and watch us. Is that enough time?
I think so.
What do you want to spoil first? There's a lot.
Eli.
Okay, back to Eli.
Eli's backstory.
Oh, yeah, you want to go into that more?
Yeah, so we knew he had the, like, whip marks on his back, which, like, that's... Okay, it's so basic for, like, if you have a male character with a tragic backstory who's, like, kind of bad, but you're supposed to feel bad for him, they're just gonna have whip marks on their back. And it's a fantasy novel. Like, fantasy anything. It's just gonna happen. So his dad abused him, and then Eli ends up killing his dad. Did his dad kill his mom?
His mom committed suicide.
Okay.
She slit her wrists in the bathroom, unfortunately.
Right, and Eli found her.
Yeah.
And then, like, a month later, he pushed his dad down the stairs. And then bounces around in various foster homes until he ends up with his aunt and uncle, who are good to him.
Who are wonderful.
But yeah, wonderful parents don't last in fantasy novels.
Not this one.
And they are killed in a car accident.
Yeah.
When he's almost 16 or almost 17, he's old enough to be emancipated.
Yeah.
And then he's kind of on his own after that.
I mean, again, you feel for him. He had a crappy life. But
I feel more for him that he got vivisected for a year.
I feel more bad about that too. I just can't even imagine that part. Wow, that one made you feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only redeeming moment Stell had when he stopped that, I think. And was like, no, we cannot be, like, experimenting on them like this. That's
But then
not...
he also, like, threatened Eli with it. He's like, you can either do this or I can send
he
you back there.
definitely held it over him. And he was not gentle. Like, he still sort of injures him with the collar and... So.
Yeah, the collar wasn't his idea.
It was a brief moment of redemption for Stell, and then it went back down.
Yeah.
So... You know, at that part where he fires the doctor that's been experimenting on him, I kept thinking, remember this guy, this is going to come back up. And totally does.
He comes back up because we see, like, a part of his point of view or whatever, and then I forgot about him.
Me too.
And I was like...
Totally did, even though I was like, make sure you remember this.
I was like, creepy doctor, I don't care for this. Go away.
Yeah, and then it came back in a big way.
Yeah.
But let's not go there yet. Okay.
Yet.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you had more on Eli. Okay. The other thing I was going to say about Stell was he does have an EO working for him.
Yeah.
So he did find someone to rehabilitate, is all I was going to say, as with Riaz.
I was like, wait, what are you doing? Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was interesting twist, although not totally unexpected, because she was...
Say Riaz or Rios? I say Rios.
I think it's Rios. I just said Riaz, because I wasn't, looking at the word. It's Rios, you're right. So that was all I was going to say about that.
I forgot about her.
Yeah, because she's kind of forgettable because she's just always a shadow.
Yeah, but like she's supposed to be. So then when she like turns out to actually be an EO, you're like, what?
And then you're like, of course you can do that.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about Dom before we dive?
Like what happens to him?
Yeah.
So he gets a job at Eon because Victor tells him to.
Gives him no choice. I will continue to take your pain away.
Yeah, but like Dom was like well suited to it in his own way, even though it's like traumatic that he has to like be an EO and he's doing this to other EOs. And then Victor gets captured, and Victor's like, I left a key here. I have a get out of jail free card up my sleeve. And I'm like, dude, you just use people. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, it was probably good they had an inside man so they could kind of keep tabs on what Eon was doing. But, like, Victor...
He was abusing that, yeah.
Or Dom has a line where he's like, Victor thinks of people as, like, chess pieces and just goes around tapping them. You're a pawn, you're a knight, you're a king, or whatever. And I'm like, that's very accurate, but also very funny. So Victor needs to get out of Eon, and Dom is there to help him. Dom does his best to help him.
Yeah, I mean, he got out of the handcuffs because he was captured in Stell's office, and he
was being interrogated.
Yes.
Yeah.
He definitely, cool. I mean, he definitely took one for the team. That one broke my heart when he died.
Yeah. We don't know if he's dead, though. He could also be in that container, so they don't burn any of the EO bodies because Stell's an idiot. So they just, like, keep the dead bodies in
like a morgue container.
In, like, cold storage?
Yeah, cold storage.
Indefinitely.
Exactly what it is. I felt like that one was a death.
Yeah,
he said,
it could be, but, like...
Because I don't know who would have brought him back.
Sydney?
But Sydney did never find Dom, so they have to go back and find Dom.
Found him
that
yet.
Could be. She's definitely getting better at bringing people back. And I really thought that's how this was going to end, with her digging up Victor again.
I didn't think she was going to be digging up Victor again. I thought she was going to, like, Victor was going to be dead, like, when one of his fits. And she was going to reach in, like, pull all the threads together and, like, braid them better. And then he was going to be okay.
Me too. I thought that too. I just envisioned digging him up again. And then when Dole died again, I thought, yep, Victor's going to go because him and the dog.
I texted my friend. I made her, I'm like, you have to tell me if anything happens to Dole. I'm like, I don't, like, the humans, you can let me, like, stew in my stress, but you have to tell me.
Right.
If anything bad happens to the dog.
Yes, but it's fine.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, I still sort of feel like if anybody can fix Victor, it's going to be Sydney, but he has to die again. I think you're totally right. And she's to fix it. And I think she can do it now.
Yeah, I think she can. And I think, like, Victor's like, I have to, like, this is my problem. I have to confront this. But I'm like, I think it's also Sydney.
Yeah.
I think...
Yeah, she feels so much guilt over this. Like, she's just eating herself up with it.
Yeah, and Victor hasn't really found a solution.
And I'm not sure he's going to otherwise.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, I agree. So do you want to talk about the showdown between the 3 EOs?
Yeah.
So the whole storyline is building to Marcella's big takeover of the city with the mob and like buying all the important people.
Mm-hmm.
So of course she actually has a literal party because she does nothing in small doses.
Yeah, because June's like, what are you going to do now? Throw a party for yourself? And she's like, well, actually.
So everybody comes. Eli is let out because he's convinced he's the only one that can kill her because of his powers.
And he's convinced everyone else he's the only one that can kill her.
He is a very charming guy. And then Victor just ends up there. He
Marcella hears about
there.
him. Yeah, Marcella hears about him, and she's like, ooh, that's an interesting power. I'm collecting interesting EOs to do my bidding.
She is. She's got 3. 2.
Yeah. 2. So she kind of like ropes him into it, and he's kind of like suspicious of it, rightfully.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "I'll go. I'll listen." And he's like, never really sure what he's gonna do. And then he finds out Eli's gonna be there, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, now I'm here.
I need to right this still. Right the wrong."
Yeah.
I enjoyed Victor's moment when he was like, "I really did break myself. Eli and I really need to end this. We started this. This is because of us.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to get over this is to end this."
I think they're the only EOs that like did
deliberately?
this. Yeah, who did this like intending to be an EO.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering about that too, if they were the only 2 like suicides that led to EOs, but I don't think they are. Probably not. The odds probably aren't in their
I say
favor.
probably not. Yeah, but they were the only ones that were deliberately probably looking for this outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the big showdown was pretty awesome.
It leveled town hall or the justice building or
courthouse.
Courthouse.
The old courthouse or
Yep.
something. Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh. And Eli wasn't wrong. Like, he did kind of be the only one that could
but Marcella also kind of
destroy and distract her.
Yeah.
I was going to say distract.
But he couldn't have done it without Victor.
No, isn't that funny? They had to work together.
I thought I thought Victor was going to break Eli out of prison to heal himself. Because I was like, Victor needs regenerative abilities. Who has regenerative abilities?
Right.
And like, how convenient that you have to go to your worst enemy for help.
Mm-hmm. I thought how convenient you have to work together to take down this other EO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was pretty epic and amazing. And then we're left with Eli and Victor alive.
Well, sort of.
Okay, I will say there was a moment when I thought, oh my gosh, is this how we're going to lose Eli when he was battling Marcella? It got pretty intense.
Yeah.
Like, she was close to killing him off.
She was very close to killing. If Victor hadn't been there, she would have won.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then Eli flees, and who remembers that doctor?
Like the creepy doctor.
And nabs him and takes him back to some, like, storage unit.
Yeah, it's like his makeshift lab.
Yeah, it was creepy.
Yeah. And then Victor follows. And Eli escapes because Victor distracts whoever's
Right? Come on, Victor.
So Eli, like, kills the doctor, which, good for him.
After they've been sedated with his weird toxin.
Oh, yeah, because he, like, I think he uses... Does he use Eli's...
Yeah.
biological matter?
Yeah, he definitely did some... Yeah, because he was, like, every day taking something home.
That's so creepy.
So creepy.
That's so creepy.
So, yeah, he basically had found a way to not neutralize, but to, like,
yeah.
sedate it for a while.
Yeah, he could, like, completely neutralize Victor's power and then, like, slow down Eli's healing enough that Eli was basically human.
But it was only for so long, I guess is why
Yeah.
So and it was the gas that was doing it to Victor. He was smelling that sweet whatever gas was. So now they're both just human. So let's take each other out.
Yeah,
we're finally even matched.
But Eli still looks like a 22-year-old, and Victor is this wiry, gaunt,
sickly
35-year-old.
He's not been doing well. I enjoyed that visual of
Yeah. Because I don't think it's so much that Victor was aging. I think it's just he, like, was...
It was his sickness.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what
he
it was
looked
more than him aging.
very sickly and was very weak from the deaths. Yeah.
Dying will take a toll on you.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
It definitely will. And I mean, it worked out as a kind of a blessing in disguise that he ended up in the lab and kind of getting that gas because it stopped him from dying
Mm-hmm.
before killing off Eli.
Yeah. I was wondering if Victor was going to have one of his episodes right then there and kill Eli that way.
I thought that too.
But he didn't.
If only he could time his death better.
Yeah, well, he's been using his power a lot without having a death. So I was like, it's coming.
It was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so then he kills Eli and smuggles
He
out
doesn't
the
kill
serum.
Eli.
No! And that was so funny because earlier I was like, we have to talk about this. Sydney kills
He
Eli.
doesn't. Yes, thank God. Because she's been having nightmares.
That was a moment that had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had to kill off her tormentor. And she had to reconcile herself with Serena, her sister's death, and that maybe it was for the best. Yep, that was a cool moment.
Yeah, because Eli is like about to kill Victor. He's got him pinned. He has a scalpel in his neck, and then he just gets shot. And you're like, what?
That's right. He has Victor totally pinned down and is about to. Yeah, sorry, it's the motion.
And then like Sydney kills him, and she's like, and like that was very sweet. After Victor's like, he's dead. He's trying to like calm her down. I'm like, oh, you do care sometimes.
I think he cares. He's just also very broken.
Just like doesn't care on the outside.
Yeah, and I don't know if he knows how to show care. I mean, his parents didn't ever demonstrate that to him. So that was a cool moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then he abandons them, and that was not cool moment.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, I'll meet up with you at midnight, and it's like, you better.
But you knew he wasn't gonna. But I'm kind of hopeful. Like,
what's he gonna do now? Because Sydney can find him wherever he goes.
Because she feels the thread and she can trace it back. And he has the serum now to help not control,
manage.
But to manage was a perfect word. His death, sickness.
Manage the dying.
I know. I yes, you can read this as its own, but I want so much more.
Yeah.
Like, where's everyone going? And June going off into the sunset with Dom's. She broke in. Yeah,
she broke in as Holtz.
Yeah,
and erased her file from
Eon's
she erased
computers.
It from Eon.
I'm like, what was she doing there?
They can't find. Well, they'd have to work hard to find her again, but they can't find her now.
Keeping in mind how hard it is to find her anyway.
Mm-hmm. And they don't have Eli, supposedly, to find her.
Yeah, because he's in the storage.
He's in gold storage.
I know, and I don't know if she's going. I don't know what June's up to.
I don't either.
I'm not sure it's going to be a good thing.
I don't know with June. I have too many questions about her.
I know, me too.
Especially like what she was gonna do with Sydney, because she kidnapped Sydney before all the showdown goes down to like try and keep her safe. And Sydney's like,
keep her safe.
What are you doing though? That's my family. You can't just keep me in here. And June doesn't seem to like.
And you drugged me.
Yeah, she drugged her and
how is that? Trust me.
Locked her in a bathroom.
Yeah, I like that. There's a blanket. Well, that's nice.
And that Sydney just has a gun because Victor gave her a gun. The gifts he gives her are interesting. He gives her a gun. He gives her like a dead bird skeleton, but it's still perfectly articulated.
Yeah. But he knew she was working on her project.
I know, but it was cute. It was like this is.
Yeah. I did like that she shot out the hinges of the door. Although I was like, oh my gosh, be careful! Don't let anything ricochet on you.
Yeah, I was like, how are things not like ricocheting on?
Well, I thought that too, but I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, I was like, if you shoot the doorknob, that could go really bad. So I'm glad she went for the hinges.
Yeah, that was good, and I was really happy that Mitch drove to the Eon headquarters. Didn't know what he was gonna do.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and he's
perfectly timed for picking Victor up, who broke out.
Yeah, like hacking things, and
I think it was a well coordinated, undeliberately coordinated event.
That was good.
Yes. Any parting thoughts?
I don't know. I liked it. Yeah, Marcella is
fabulous.
There's not like one villain in this. There's like Eon is bad. Like we know they're bad. But they're also like not they didn't feel like the main threat in this book. I wonder if they'll feel like more of a main threat as we go, if there's more books.
They just kind of felt like a pesky nuisance. Like, ugh, we have to deal with that again.
They were supposed to be like top of the line at this, and then like everything they try and do kind of goes wrong.
They had to use Eli's plan in the first place, and then they still messed it up to capture Victor. I mean, they're not very good.
So we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
I know, and then, like I said, we had such fabulous characters in this book. I'm so curious to see what other, EOs are out there that we haven't met yet.
And we keep just putting the dead bodies in cold storage. So that must be where Marcella is, too. Because remember they have the container for all the dead EOs.
No, she's not disintegrated.
No, she's just, she broke her neck. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Sydney could have a heyday. Or anybody that has her gift.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or if we find another EO who can, kind of do what Sydney does, but differently.
I know, I've wondered that if there's other similar gifts like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I bet there are.
Because there's other similar healing ones. We've met some of them. So.
Yeah. Ugh. So much more we could learn, read, whatever.
Yeah. I'm just interested to see where it goes.
Yeah. I definitely recommend this one. It was a good choice.
I put off reading it for so long because I'm like, at some point I'm going to run out of, new Schwab material I can read for the first time.
Thank goodness. We got a new book this week.
We did get a new book this week! I'm excited to start that one, too.
So, what are we reading next week?
Next week, also my bookmark for this one was an Ace of Diamonds because I was like, that seems like Victor.
I was just going to say, ha!
Yeah.
How apropos for this book.
I think I just had it somewhere, and I'm like, this fits, and then I found out how well it actually fits.
It really fits, yeah.
Alright, so next week we are reading The Damned by Renee Audier.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we're picking up After the Beautiful, which was our first book chat, but we didn't spoil anything, which we're going to spoil things now.
I'm going to ruin this one for me.
So it's vampires in 19th century New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Our main character's just had her memory wiped. So that'll be interesting to find out what's going on in this one.
Yeah. I know. The end of that first book was, oh, man. Whoa.
The whole thing.
Yeah. And now you're leaving me here?
Yeah. Wasn't that the one with, the 5-word epilogue? And it's just we're ending here?
Was it? Oh, I don't have one right there right now.
It's on the other wall.
I don't remember. We'll get back to y'all on that, because I don't remember what the epilogue was now. But I remember being like, this is the end?
It's it's the dude.
Oh. We'll talk next week. Because I think I do know, but I want to ask.
And I'm also going to tell Jody as soon as we're done filming.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. Of course, if you'd like to read The Damned before we spoil everything about it, you can give us a call at 520-571-0110 at Mostly Books.
Yep, that one.
Or you can visit us online at mostlybooksaz.com. And you can always also do Libra FM if you prefer audiobooks or just would like a change.
And should read the first one first, because this is a sequel. This is a second in this trilogy?
At least a trilogy.
I think.
So definitely read The Beautiful and then the follow-up of The Damned.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next week. Bye.